In 1984, a Union Carbide chemical plant disaster in Bhopal, India, killed more than 7,000 people overnight. 21 years later, and halfway around the globe, a fisherwoman from Seadrift, Texas, is still working to make things right.
It's so blatant what they have done over there and what they're responsible for, and there has been no justice.
Union Carbide, which is now owned by Dow, has never stood trial in the ongoing criminal case regarding Bhopal and claims that the Indian courts can't press charges against a U.S. company. Former CEO Warren Anderson, whose extradition from the U.S. has been requested by the Indian government, remains truant from the law.
The irony that this company can have warrants after their arrest, their requirements to appear in court, and they can be defiant and not show up, but yet let a little woman with a banner drop it, clearly shows she was up there, you know, and I'm a dangerous woman, and I got to be thrown in jail.
For the last decade and a half, Diane Wilson has fought companies like Union Carbide who pollute the Gulf Coast waters, decimating the shrimping catch and endangering her livelihood. Now, Diane has forged a transcontinental friendship with the people of Bhopal. In 2002, the Indian courts were considering lowering the level of the charges from manslaughter to a misdemeanor.
And they were pretty much going to drop it. They was going to say it was something like a traffic accident. And for those Bhopal survivors who had been fighting 18 years for justice, for simple justice, there was an outrage. I know what it's like to be people that have no voice, because that's like fishermen.
In July 2002, Diane launched a hunger strike outside her local Dow Union Carbide facility in support of the ongoing fight for justice in Bhopal.
I took my truck and I pulled it up right in front of the plant, and I just started sitting in the back, and every morning I got there real early just as the plant workers started coming through, and I would go out I would run off a bunch of flyers, and I would go sit out right at that gate, and every time a worker went past, I'd give them a little flyer that said, talked about Bhopal.
After a month of protesting at the facility, Diane decided that bolder action was needed to get Dow's attention. Climbing a tower on plant grounds, she chained herself to a railing and unfurled a banner that proclaimed Dow's responsibility for Bhopal.
I dropped the banner. It was probably about a 20-foot yellow banner, and it said Dow, responsible for Bhopal. And I just chained myself right to the top. There was metal bars, and I chained myself to the top and just sat there. And I was there for 8 hours.
Diane was forcibly removed from the tower and arrested. At the trial, jurors were kept unaware of the context of Diane's trespass.
I could not say the word Bhopal. We could not bring up any environmental crime.
Corporate executives, she says, don't go to jail for high crimes, and little citizens go to jail for misdemeanors. Although she was sentenced to 4 to 6 months in a Texas jail, Diane says she has no intention of giving herself up until Warren Anderson and Union Carbide stand trial.